My name is Gitango Kezia Mumbi, famously known as Mumbi wa Samosa. I'm a business lady, what people like to call a hooker. I'm a mobile hotel here in Kawasukari, born and bred in Bungoma Road. And I'm a graduate of leadership and management. And we are here for the debate, for a peaceful election, and your votes shall be highly appreciated. Thank you.
Praise God. Amen. Praise God again.
Amen.
I'm David Bashir Bogwa, born again, married, a husband, 2 kids, a boy and a girl, so I'm a parent. I'm a graduate in Kenyatta University, 2013, did the Bachelor of Commerce. I've done CPA up to Section 4. I've also done Sign Language, a diploma. I'm an alumni of Ndiende. That's where I did my classes there. And we arrived here in 1997. And I'm aspiring MCA, independent candidate. The only independent candidate here in Sukari. Alama yangu ni switch ya stima. Na saa hii iko off. Tarehe 9 nimewekea on. Kijana aanze kazi. Asanteni.
Praise God. Yeah. Praise God again. Yeah. Yes, my name is Mary Wangari Ngugi Maniki. A wife and a mother of 3 boys, 23, 18, and 16. A resident of Kawasukari, aspiring candidate member of County Assembly for this ward. We'll interact more. Thank you.
Praise the Lord. My name is George Mudemba Njuguna, long-term resident of Kawasukari since the age of 17. That was from 1996. I'm a father of 2, 6-year-old boy, 12-year-old girl. I'm married. I'm a marketer by profession, and I deal with sponsorship, corporate sponsorship. I'm vying via the UDA party. Yeah, thank you.
Hi guys. I'm Jambo. Praise the Lord. I'm Eunice Gadigia Gadua. A mother. I love 2 grown-up children, just like you. So when I see you, I see my children there, and a glad ma of 1. So I am here. I hear like people are saying whatever they've done. I am a community developer from. I'm forgetting my my university. This is St. Paul's University. That is where I did my diploma in community development. I am a member of this church, Kawasukari. I've been here for a long time. Then I became older. Then I left it to you people to continue where I had left. I've worked with some of the people that I could see here. And right now, I am here asking you to vote for me as a member of the County Assembly, Kawasukari. And I'm sure you as a youth, my children will vote for me. So that I may go be a mother there and do whatever you want me to do for you people, like I'm doing it for my children. Asanteni sana.
Hi. Kwa majina naitwa Janet Wambui Kimiti, a resident of Kawasukari. I live Isiolo Road, 5th Avenue. I'm a mother of 3, 2 adults and 1 minor. I love Jesus as my Savior. I fear the Lord because He is the one who enables me to do whatever I do every day. I have a diploma in business management from Jomo Kenyatta. I'm a village-based advisor nominated from Kiambu County, under the leadership of the governor of Nyoro, Nyoro governor of Kiambu. And I work closely with agricultural officer in Kawasukari, tunamuita Helen. I still have a course in finances, trained by Equity Bank, KCB, Cooperative Bank, because I'm their agent. I still have, what else? And that's all. God bless you.
God is good. And all the time. My name is Simon Macharia Maina. I'm a resident in Kawasukari. I've been here for the last 20 years. I came here back in the year 2001, and I'm contesting the position of MCA now for the third time. And if all goes well, we interact more. Thank you.
Thank you all. That was wonderful. Among ourselves, we have an aspiring governor, Mwende Baki. You can come say hi to us. Juliet, so. It's her. It's her. Oh. Okay. Then we continue the other part of the program where I'll invite my fellow. Fellow that one.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
We meet again. We met on the first debate and we're meeting again. So I'll just go straight into it. The debate today is organized by the youth of Kawasukari and the youth of PCA in conjunction with other youths. So we will try focus on issues that affect Kawasukari in whole, but also those that affect the youth directly. So our first question is going to be, what are the key issues you seek to address to empower the youth of Kawasukari Estate? What are the key issues you seek to address to empower the youth of Kawasukari Estate? So since Eunice was the first one to introduce herself, maybe she can go first. We have 2 minutes for all the aspirants.
Thank you very much. What you do to empower them? Well, we know, or as a mother, I know that the youth or our children doesn't have jobs to do. And so if I am elected, what I would do is actually start a ICT hub where the youths could be working online, doing online jobs, and get something out of it. Actually, with online jobs, I find people getting a lot of money instead of just looking for jobs out there which are not forthcoming. Secondly, we could start cottage industries where our youths could go there and work. We could also assimilate them to the few jobs that we get in the country, because actually when someone is in a point of power, they have some influence there, so that they could get some of the youths to be employed in those areas. We can also empower them by giving them skills or furthering their education, so that they could be assimilated in the jobs. They could also we could also nurture them or mentor them to become like us, looking for MCA jobs, MPs. We could nurture them so that they could also be leaders in this good estate of ours. Asanteni.
Thank you for the question. When it comes to youth empowerment, I think our estate is at a very unique position. Out of the 1460 wards across the country, it is the only one that is an estate. Therefore, we can put long-lasting measures that can assist not only our youth, but the generations to come. For one, I think we can centralize our resources in terms of spending as an estate. Why do I say this? I'm currently the chairman of the Youth Association in Kawasukari. And we have a plan. And the plans that we would like engaged to county level and at ward level. For one, give you an example. We are almost 4,000 homes in Kawasukari. There is no reason whatsoever as to why someone should come from outside and collect garbage in our estate. If you do the math, around 400 shillings times 4,000 homes, we are dealing with millions here. This is money we can actually pull our youth together, have them, empower them by giving them jobs such as this. They do not have to be the ones collecting the bags and throwing them up the truck. But this is enough seed capital for every youth in Kawasukari and funding each cluster group. For example, we have decided to merge and divide ourselves into cluster groups depending on interest. You have people who are doing media. Some of the youth are doing media. You have some who are doing catering. If we cluster them together within the main association, that 1.5 million shillings we collect from garbage collection, less expenditure, can become our seed capital for our youth, and the youth can benefit from being members of this particular ward. We also, sorry?
Your time is up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, George. Mary.
Thank you. As I said, I am a mother. So I am a mother of youth. A 23-year-old and an 18-year-old are classified as youth. What I purpose to do as your MCA, and I'm hopeful that you're going to give me the vote, is that I started this journey a few years ago. I want to jog your memory and remind you that I was the chair of the association, Welfare Association, and the elections were done in February. So I journeyed from being an assistant secretary, a vice chair, and a chair. In my journey, I knew that what we need in Kawasukari is to reclaim back our public pieces of land. Because for every journey, you have to start with a step. So what I did, I worked to get those pieces of land back. On the northern side of Kawasukari, at the end, we have a 12-acre piece of land that had been taken by the grabbers. So I have fought and got it back. What I purpose to do for the youth is this. One, for you to get funding, you need to have land. I purpose to build a hub, an ICT hub, where we can house our youth. You can do your online jobs, get paid in euros or dollars. You can do online research. There will be free Wi-Fi. I am hopeful that that is possible because with the county funding, what you lack is public land. But when you have the public land, you are going to get the money. Secondly, we need to have a sports ground. That same piece of land, we can grade it and have a sports ground where we are going to do a football pitch, a basketball pitch, and even indoor games. Because ideally, an indoor mind is the devil's workshop. So we'll be able to engage our youth for them to be able to associate in that whole area. The other thing is that I will encourage also the youth to form membership. Remember, we already have a bank at the shopping center, DTB. Have you seen it? I am hopeful that we are going to join hands, form groups, and we are going to be able to get money, whereby we will also get the youth fund and funding.
All right, and your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Mombi.
So for me, I am one of those youth. I'm the youngest amongst all other candidates. So number one of the challenges that us as the youth we face, and we have to acknowledge that there is this problem, is the mental health. And so for me, I'd say that we can only help people who want to be helped. You cannot force someone to be helped if they don't want to be helped. So for me, I am going to, we are going to call parents together and let us sit down, I as your MCA, and let us listen to these youths and find a permanent solution to the problem. Because sitting down with them in different groups, they tell me, Mombi, ni kwa sababu hatusikizwi. What if we listen to them? What if we get to hear their views and see whether we can help them? Number 2, we can put them in self-help groups, and we can write proposals, and we can forward those proposals to the county. Let us get these groups something called a biashara fund. It is not a grant, it is a loan that is normally given. What if we fund those groups? Unaenda, we give you an allowance of 3 months. Unaenda unafanya biashara ikipik, you refund the money, we help another youth. Then we can be able to, tunaweza tukakuza hao my youth, because for sure the youth that I'm coming up right now are not this, hawana hiyo akili ya kukua employed. Most of them are business oriented. So what if we give them an opportunity to start up their own businesses, to be their own CEOs? So for me, I'm going to come up, I'm going to listen to them, and because I am also one of them, we are going to engage, we are going to interact, and we will get solutions to the challenges that they face. Also, drug and substance abuse, which is connected to the mental health. For that, I cannot say atineza nikaisort peke yangu. I need you parents, let us sit down and find solutions to this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mombi. Moshiri.
The part of empowerment, we need to, what I'll do as an MCA is that I'll educate the youth, give them skills and training before giving them the money. Because with just giving someone money, you are not helping that person. If I give you 10,000 and tell you, go and open a business, with the current situation now, most youth are engaging on drugs. I have a brother who have done that, and I don't want to repeat the same mistake. We want to empower the youths. And the second point is that we have a football pitch, which I'm planning to open if I'm given that opportunity. After work, after they have gone to their engagement, they have somewhere they can relax, clean up their mind, and not engage in drugs, because idle mind is the devil's workshop. And we want to make Sukarians, the youth of Sukarians, very busy. That's all.
Thank you very much, Ms. Janet.
Thank you. For me, I'll create a youth fund. I'll be called Mama Fund for the youth, so that we can be able to fund ourselves, to equip ourselves properly, so that we can feel as youth. Two, I'll train and sanitize the youth on business skills through partnership with Equity Cooperative KCB. As I have said, I partnership with them, so they know me. When I call them, they will come and train our youth. When they are given money, how to use that money, and how to be a good youth. Two, we have somewhere there at Felma. We have a park there. That park, I think I can put an Wi-Fi. I can put a toilet. There is no toilet there. I can go on and put a shower where our youth can go and do their online jobs. We can have a mentor there. She or he can mentor them when they have issues, as Mobi have said. We have so many cases of mental illness. in our youth. So we have to be very careful about that, because when we don't have youth, our future is no more. So I'll establish internship and attachment program for university, encourages students through linkage with the university, tertiary institutions, and other stakeholders, so that they can train them.
Time is up.
Thank you.
Janet. Simon.
Thank you so much. On the issue of youth empowerment, has got a number of aspects. Number one, if you are in your houses back in Kawasukari and you're not ready to get out to do something, I cannot be able to help you. I had a plan probably in Kawasukari to put CCTV cameras around. But to achieve that kind of a project, I need to get a legitimate company to do that. That is to mean, if I'll have youths in Kawasukari who have a legitimate company, the government has provided some spaces for young people. If you tender and get a contract and you be awarded, that's your job. On the way to improve or to empower youth is to make sure you get money in your pocket. I'm not taking you back to school. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Just a minute, I'd like to call Dr. Juliet Kimemia, who is an aspiring governor, to come and say hi to us.
Good afternoon, Kawasukari. Good afternoon, honorables. Good afternoon, honorables on my left. Thank you very much, organizers of this event. Yes, my name is Dr. Juliet Kimemia. I am a gazetted governor candidate for Kiambu County. I ran in 2017 for the Senate, and thereafter I joined the county government of Kiambu as a CEC. But I have decided not to run for governor. I have decided to get into the presidential campaigns so that I campaign for Mother Karua. I am running a program and a campaign called Chagua Mama, because I believe I have better impact up there, outside the crowded space of 8 governors. And my prayer and wish and hope is that Mother Karua gets to be confirmed as the deputy president of this country. And my conviction is track history, track record, and the possibility of 2027, Kenya having the first female president, because Babaman is only running for 1 term. He's transitional. He's 77 now. So he's not going to look for a second term. Convinced that Kenya is ripe for a female president, and convinced by looking at what has happened in Tanzania, I'm calling upon all of us to support this one presidential candidate who we know will not look for a second term. Number 2, I ran on a Kanu ticket, and why I believe in KANU is because of respect for democracy. If all of us are asked what they know about KANU, what comes to their mind is 24-year rule of Moi. But did you know that KANU ruled under Kenyatta for 18 years? Did you know that these last 10 years, Uhuru Kenyatta has been president? He has been KANU Damu. When he created TNA, it was only icing on top of a cake called KANU. So these last 10 years, we have been ruled by KANU. And if we have suffered in these 10 years, I don't think the deputy president will offer anything different. This is my opinion. To our MCAs, all of you are extremely impressive. And I want to ask you just one question. And probably you say it in your heart. If you're not an MCA, Janet and my friend, we were working with him in the county. I know his work. If you're not vying for an MCA, Mombi, or Mudemba, or my friend Mary, and who will you vote for? Just ask yourself that question, if you're not running. Because I have lived in Kawasukari for the last 23 years. And in 2013, we got a shock of our lives. I was in a committee that designated Kawasukari as an exclusive ward. Because before then, we used to be with Mwehoko. Allow me to do a little bit of civic education. When we sat in that IEBC that designated Kawasukari as an exclusive ward, we were very clear that we will get an MCA from Kawasukari. But shock on us in 2013, because we had so many, like all of you who live in Kawasukari, running. The person who was elected in Kawasukari as our first MCA was from Githurai. I'm not saying that Githurai people don't have what it takes to be leaders, but it is very, very important to be cautious that if we divide our votes, we will be surprised, all of us, on who will be elected in Kawasukari. So I want to throw a soul-searching question to all of us who are running, because all of you are from Kawasukari and you are legit. What will we do if somebody who is not of Kawasukari becomes our next MCA? Kwa hayo mengi na hayo machache, me, I pray that you decide on one person who you will support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And moving forward, some of you have mentioned it. My first question was, what are your key issues that you seek to address to empower the youth? And I really do hope Simon is not going to regret his answer. But as of the second one, I will actually start with Mombi because she mentioned it. We have had several cases of suicide in Kawasukari. I believe all of us are residents and we have had those cases, either through our church groups or, school or something. And we have had a lot of drug abuse issues as well. And that has been very prevalent. We have been on news whereby certain products have been found in certain homes and young people arrested and all that. So how do you intend to deal with that? The menace of suicide, the menace of drug abuse, which interlinks with mental health. And you mentioned it, so I'll start with you, Mombi.
That's a very good question. Now, You see, on the issue of mental health, as I mentioned earlier, parents, we can only help the youth who want to be helped. You can only help me if I acknowledge that I have a problem, and you can only help me if I acknowledge and I want to be helped. Otherwise, you cannot force me to be helped. So for me, I'd prefer, because I have sat down with these youths. I've just mentioned that I am one of them. We have had forums. I have sat down with them. We have had discussions. And the common issue that they tell me is, Mombi hatuskizwi na nani na wazazi wetu. Kwa hivyo mnataka aje kukua na forum na wao tukae chini wasikize wajue kenye sisi tunataka. So why don't we have a forum? Let us sit down with these youths and get to understand what are some of the challenges that they face. Can we come up with a solution to them? You know, it is you feel very good when you're able to talk to people and they're able to listen to you. Ni kweli. So why don't we give these youths an opportunity to talk to us? Number 2, drugs and substance abuse. Hata MCA mgani akuja aseme ata stop. It is next to impossible. Ni wewe mwenyewe udecide, mimi nimewacha na nitavuta watu kadhaa wengine tuache pamoja. Lakini tukisema tutaimaliza, wewe hujui kwa mwingine wanafanya aje ama wanafanya mambo yao. So the only thing ni tushikane na mayouth, tuwasikize, tujue chenye wanataka, so that we can be able to sort their issues as per what they are going
Thank
through.
you, Mombi. Thank you.
Yes.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
Thank you. On to next, I'll go to Janet. You had also reiterated the same, so I'll just randomly pick and Janet, please.
Thank you. I think for me is ni kuweka bridge. Kwa wale wamekunywa, tuweke bridge. Alafu tuseme no more others. Tutafanya hivyo aje? By making our youth busy. By availing ourselves, we as parents, we avail ourselves to our youth. Let us not kukua busy sana. Yes, kazi ni mzuri, tunawatafutia. They are our asset. We have to look for money, but have time. I have tried to talk to a few of them, but they are saying, we are very busy. We parents, we are very busy. We don't have time. Ours is to pay school fees, which is very good. They are very happy, but they are making noise in their heart that we don't avail ourselves. We are busy looking for money. We are busy educating ourselves, looking for doctors and professors, which are very good because our children are proud when we parents, we get educated. But please, they are saying we are not giving them time. We don't have time to hear them. What are their needs? Wameenda, sorry to see this, a girl afraid of my nini. One day she wake up and shout, a very big shout. So the mother learned and asked her, what's wrong? You don't listen to me, you are very busy, what? So they are saying in their heart, listen to us, give us time, so that we are not going to look outside there from Kawasukari or outside our house. So let us avail ourselves, let's keep our youth busy.
Thank you, Janet, and your time is up. Right, and now to break the gender, we can start with Simon.
About the same issue of mental health. Okay, fine. Political leadership some other times will be a bit different, but because I'm a human being, I'm going to talk about it. The families in Kawasukari, in a certain occasion, some of them have raised very weak young ones. You've done good when it comes to education, formal education, you're good, but when it comes to issues of challenges that face young people out there, you're not there. And probably the way to do this, if I'm not a community health worker, I need to engage some of them so that we can be able to identify some of these serious needy cases around. We need to salvage the situation of young people, those who are affected so much by drugs and those who can go even to the levels of committing suicide. There are two categories of youths. Those affected by those things, probably we cannot push them to issues of development first. We need to salvage their situation. And because I'm looking for an opportunity to have power to say about some of these things, I need to bring down the market of drugs around. I have been working in Kiambu County government and controlling small crimes. I have to do away with issues of this kind of businesses around completely. This is to mean on issues of drugs and alcohol, probably we need to withdraw all the licenses without negotiation. Then we need to get the national government part of it. This now the area sub-chief, and we got the area community health worker to help me get some of these cases direct to their families and their houses so that we can be able to get. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Simon. We can go to another gentleman so that we break the disparity. I will go to you, George.
Thank you. With regards to the mental health, we are actually in the process as a youth association to getting a call center donated to us by Safaricom. We had a proposal a few months back, and we've been talking to them, and they decided they were going to donate a call center for us. To complement this, it is part of my agenda to set up a rehabilitation center in Kawasukari, one that will help initiate the youth back into the society after the process is done. Onto the issue of drugs, I'm a witness, and I can speak volumes when it comes to sports. Sports fights drugs. The problem is that we approach this issue in a curative manner rather than a preventive manner. If we started sports programs for our 4-year-olds, our 5-year-olds, we will deal with this drug problem for the next so many years. So we need to initiate something for the youths to do in terms of sports. We need to initiate youth empowerment such that they're busy during the day and not just waiting for Mogoka to be delivered so that they can sit there at the road, which is what actually happens. And most of these youth who do that are actually educated. It's just that they don't have proper systems put in place for them to plug in. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, George. We'll go to Mary.
Thank you. The drug menace. As we have said, it is not as easy as it looks, but it is good to be purposeful and to know that it can work. One of the aspirants said, the candidate Janet, and I think that was very good, that it is good to put a bridge. Yes, we agree, we have some that are lost, but all is not lost. We can still bring them back. We avoid the younger ones to get into it. And that is where we are saying we are focusing on having activities that will make them not be idle. Secondly, as you have said, engagement. Yes, it is good. Sometimes you bury all your stuff under the carpet, but you need to communicate. Inclusivity. Include your children in everything that you do. Understand them so that they may be able to tell you what their challenges are. Because sometimes we take them to school, force them to do some courses which they really don't like, and then at the end of the day, they rebel. So my idea is engage the ones that need to be engaged now, make sure we have those facilities that we're talking about, make them busy. The ones that we think are lost, we can still bring them back. They are our children. We can have activities to make them come back because they're the ones who will be able to train the younger ones. And with the building of the rehabilitation centers or the health center, we will have mentors who will be able to bring them back. All is not lost. Let us not give up. Let us agree to help each other. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mary. Moshiri.
On the part of mental health, did you know we have 9 rehab centers in Sukari. I know you don't know. I've been an agent of houses, and anybody who comes, they want to put a rehab. It is a good business happening in Sukari. What happens is that the courses, 1, the parents don't have time for the kids. 2, kids are forced to do courses which they don't like. 3, lack of employment, which will provide by educating them, giving them skills, and keeping them busy. That's all.
Thank you. Last but not least, Eunice.
About drugs. It is something that actually it is deep rooted. The ones who supplies the drugs are high-added people, and actually they target the children. Either you have just one child, they take that one, and because they know if this child is taken by the police, you always go look for him or her, because they usually target a single child that is born, and they also look for the rich. So here in Kawasukari, we have a very big problem. I had to write, in my nini, I did something about drugs, and I told someone, a drug addict, to write it for me. I wanted to do a research, and I found that this is what they do. They target some kind of children. It's not that we don't do anything as parents. We do whatever we can, because you have educated your child up to university. But there in the university, maybe one of the lecturers is selling the drugs. Wanashikana wote, it's a very big syndicate, so that we don't know how to finish this thing. Because in wanashikana, polisi, mwalimu, mtoto, wote, it is a line that stopping it is very difficult. But we can salvage it by actually treating the drug addicts, and rehabilitation center. That one could help, so that they could be isolated from others, not to.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Eunice. So the next question is, we've had several incidents of muggings in Kawasukari, mostly by boda guys. How are you, as the next, do you intend to curb this menace of where people are being stolen from, especially 9 o'clock at night, when guys are going to their houses on the street? So we'd like to start with Mr. Mthemba. Please let us keep our time.
All right, thanks. We've had a few meetings with the Boda. I want that. Okay. We've had a few meetings with the Boda associations with regards to this, and we had agreed on a serialized platform such that we can color code our Boda riders. When a Boda rider carries one of our own, we know exactly who it is. We have the reflector that matches the number on the Boda itself. Second, we wanted to install CCTV cameras across Kawasukari, which will be on the main avenues first, and then we can expound from that. And also have a control center. This control center will also centralize all the security across Kawasukari, and it will also employ our youth in the center itself. Thank you very much.
Calling on Mumbi.
Now, these Boda people, this has been an issue, and I think the solution to that is, why don't we have these Boda people, especially Kawasukari, they have a badge written, their ID numbers, and signed by the area MCA. Then we will be able to to differentiate between watu wa bodaboda wa Kawasukari na watu wa bodaboda wa kwingine, because I've come to realize that watu wa bodaboda wa kwingine they'll come wa drop off Kenya wana drop off, then waangalia around waone wanaweza bebea huku. Kwa hivyo wewe ukipanda bodaboda unafikiri unapanda bodaboda watu hapa. I can assure you watu wa bodaboda wa Kawasukari wako na decorum. Wacha ni watetee kidogo. Hao wenye wao wanaiba ni watu wa huko nje. Why don't we have these bodaboda people? They must have a badge for you to panda their bodaboda, signed by the area MCA na ikuwe na ID number yake. Hiyo kwanza ndio inastahili ikuwe gate pass ya wao kupita, because otherwise hii kitu haitawaisha. You understand? We need to differentiate, because unaona mtu hata akitembea kwa walk path, these people watakuja wakusukume. Na sasa hiyo uko kwa walk path unatembelea na jaribu kuescape jam na kuja kusukume. Why don't we have these people have wakuwe na decorum kwa barabara? Failure to do that, na most of them kwanza hawana licenses. Pia wacha niwapige kidogo. Why don't we have these people have licenses first of all? They have badges so that they can be able to carry people from Kawasukari. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's continue. Security. Next to Mary.
Security on terms of, you are talking about bodabodas. Yes. Now, bodabodas are a means of transport.
Okay, I'm sorry. Security, but we know one prevalent the prevalent people that we have been seeing using bodabodas to steal from the mag along the way. So we were just giving that an example, but how will you curb the insecurity? Are you understanding me?
Yes, curb insecurity.
Yes.
Not the bodabodas per se.
Yes.
All right, security as a whole.
Yeah.
Thank you. What will happen, as you all know, Kawasukari is zoned and we have at least gates. That is one step towards security. Secondly, it's good to use technology, and as one candidate has said, which is also a perspective for all of us, that CCTV is a very good thing. But again, we can improve by initiating the youth to have a patrol team of youth. When we have that patrol team, they'll be able to engage. Because ideally, what you need is there is one person at the other end and there's another person at the other end, they are communicating, and challenges will not happen. Secondly, I purpose to have an association of the guards. You know, it is important to know who are also guarding us, because there could be collaboration with the guards that we employ. So it is important to have an association of all the guards, led even by our youth. You know, we can have an organization for our youth. They are responsible for our guards. It is possible to have that connection so that we know who we are employing, they are under who, what are their credentials. Then, as they said, yes, and even the welfare had started that at one time, is to mark the bodabodas. When you know you belong to an association, or let's call it a circle, you will behave properly. But if you do not belong anywhere, you know, you just become a rogue person. So that is what I would think would work for us in terms of security. But again, even as residents of Kawasukari, we still beef up our security as we have always done before. Make sure that we have gates that are manned and things will work out well.
Thank you very much. Next one, we'll call on Simon.
Thank you so much. On the issue of security, this is a bit complicated subject, because you are telling me as an MC to start dealing with you. We are going to do that. And the boda group around Kawasukari commercial area has got numbers, they are well registered, we know their leadership, but the avenue in Kawasukari is open for movement to every other person. That is to mean, if somebody comes from Ruiro and you get in Kawasukari, by the way you get a passenger, you drop him or her where he wants to go. We got a police station around in Kawasukari because the issue of security so much belongs to the national government. And we know them, and quite a good number. I don't know, and I don't even understand what they're doing in the station at night. Probably when somebody somewhere can be marked. What I would like to suggest, they should also have bodas around. They got salaries, they are well trained, they have the machinery, and they can be able to handle that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Next one to call is Janet. Janet.
Given an MCA seat, I'll promote security in the ward, working closely with the local administration so that we can see how we can make Kawasukari ward as a ward without insecurity. I'll start with the border because that is the main issue we have here in Kawasukari. Mainly when those people who walk along Kawasukari Avenue, wanakutana na hao watu na wanajua vile wanaonyeshwa. But let me tell you, as one of us has said, not border within Kawasukari. They are border from outside Kawasukari. What will I do when I get this seat of MCA? I'll work closely with the local administration to see how we can blood our motorbikes, because these are our children. Most of them are youths, and we have to promote them in their business. I'll make sure those business are blooded so that each and everybody in Kawasukari anajua boda za Kawasukari. We can blood them, we can give them badges, as one of us has said, and we can register them. And then we can have a CCTV ati inamulika mtu yoyote anaingia kwa Kawasukari. Boda yote kutoka Bali hakuna kuingia Kawasukari. Ina drop somebody outside the gate na watu wa Kawasukari wanamuweka ndani.
Okay, thank you very much. So the next person I'll call on Mushiri.
In terms of security for boda, the main places which have been affected mostly, because as I said, I'm an agent and I walk like all streets. Garissa Road, it borders Sukari and Wendani, and most of the people affected are the ones who are walking. In Garissa, we don't have a gate, both sides, here up and downwards. That we can organize when I become an MCA. Another one, it happened here in Murang'a Road, where there's a lady who sells chips. And the good thing, we have CCTV in that car wash. We have a car wash there. We have a CCTV there, which we are still following with the police, because the number plates of the boda were identified. So we can help the community with the CCTV and put gates where they are necessary and not change security. We have those people, soldiers know the security. Like in Bungoma, there was a case in 4th Avenue. We don't want to change. Every time you change a different company, like Bungoma main gate, we have a different, every time. We had Airview, now we have another one, they put on green shirts, and that will endanger us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Call on Eunice.
Okay, about security. Security is it should be a corrective endeavor for each one of us. Because if I find you being mugged and I don't raise an alarm, you'll be mugged. But if I find you being mugged and I raise an alarm and I take action, that thing would stop. So I think each one of us should be responsible for the other person about the security. The borders, like they've said, they should have badges, or they should have identification so that we could know who is carrying who and from where. And where is it they're taking them? Then I also thought that the police is very much down there. We should have at least a post somewhere. At the front, we should have a post, and then the other one down there, so that when I am in the middle here, I could go to Kawasukari shopping center, and let that one that is there be the main one, but we should have a police post of maybe 2 or 3 up there, so that we can actually beef up the security. And also about security, the gates are very vital, but I think they should be manned by the same security guards. Let us not have some, like in our area, we have the securities who are not even registered. It's just a person. He doesn't even have a uniform. So can we have all of them? It should be manned by the same person, so that if it is the welfare, they will know we are being guarded. The Kawasukari, the whole of it is being guarded by maybe KK security or whatever, but not having wengine hapa, wengine pale ambao hawajulikani.
Okay, thank you very much. So, as Kawasukari residents, we usually have jams. As you know, at 8 o'clock, rush hour, basically. And also on the weekends, when there are very many cars. This is due to cars from Mihoko, cars from Kawendani, all coming to our Kawasukari Avenue. And you know the T-junction, isn't it? Yeah. So we're having a clog up each and every day during those rush hours. So as aspirants, what are the solutions can you give us? Or do you intend to do when you get that seat? In order to alleviate that snarl up that you usually have each and every day. I'll be calling on Mary to come.
Thank you. Traffic jams means more cars. And the reason why we have the traffic jam is you're aware that we have the Q River Road that is going up the other side. But please note that when I was in the association, we were able to get the traffic department. So in our police station, we have the traffic department. And that is the reason why they help us man the jam. Secondly, what we need in Kawasukari is an exit, an extra exit. And when I become the MCA, on the side of Rangers, okay, let's call it Rangers or Baringo Road that way, we are going to create an exit. That one does not require so much. That can even be done within the first 100 days. Because what you do, you just make an all-weather accessible road to first get an exit. So that is what actually creates our problems. Then secondly, the main road getting into Kawasukari towards Bungoma Road, it was incomplete. If it is done completely, we won't have that jam. Because I am sure what happens is when people want to try and park around Quick Mark and all that, that's where the challenge of the traffic jam comes. But I can tell you when we create that exit, it will be easy to organize the flow. But then the second thing is that we don't have bus stops for the matatus. You realize we don't have bus stops for the matatus. So we are going to make sure that along our exits, we are able to create the bus stops so that they don't create jam when we are getting in and we are getting out. That would be one of the ways that is going to solve our problems. But again, it's growth, and we appreciate the growth.
Thank you very much. I'll call on Simon next.
Thank you so much. I think the issue of traffic jam in Kawasukari probably, number one, was created by the development around. Kawasukari has grown to become a bigger estate than the way it was some years ago. And we are being annexed by some 2 more estates, Kawasukari B and Mehoko. But we still have a question of a professional mistake of civil engineers. Kawasukari Junction is not supposed to be a T-junction, according to my own belief. We are supposed to interrogate the mistakes that have been done by some of these professionals. We are supposed to have a roundabout on the other side of the barracks before we get to Kawasukari. And we are supposed to get an exit, not necessarily at the extension of Baringo Road. Let's get honest. Shell Petrol Station is sitting on an exit that belongs to Kawasukari. There's still another development on the right side. They are sitting on another exit from Thika Road to Kawasukari, and we need to revisit some of these things, because if you don't do that, in some years to come, we will have more challenges. I'm not going to push those people who are doing commercial development on the part of Kawasukari because they are sitting properly in their areas. But some of these people who are annexing the road near the commercial area, we need to sit and talk with them. These are political decisions, and in fact, politics is not an apostolic mission. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, I'll call Mumbi wa Somosa.
Okay, so for me, I believe this traffic jam is caused by the cars that normally park along the Kawasukari Avenue, kwa barabara hapo. So for me, I'd say it's about discipline. Why don't we have also more parking areas? I feel like it is more about discipline. Tuache kupark hapo kando ya barabara. Also, the way my sister Mary has said, we can also add an exit. Mimi sitasema najua pali inafaa iongezwe. Nikiingia pale ndio tutajulia hapo. Asanteni.
Thank you very much. Mshiri?
On that part of traffic, I've engaged with several people, and according to them, they are saying all the first avenues, like kama ni Nyahururu first, hizo gates na salif zifunguliwe. I don't know how truthful it is, unless we engage as a community, tufungue barabara zote fast, tuone kama jam itapungua, because sukari imegrow. 2010 haikuwa hivyo, 208 hakukuwa na barabara hata ya rami. So venye barabara zimekuwa, watu wamenunua magari, na hiyo ni revenue, na hatuwezi kataa watu wa grow. Another thing, tutengeneze hizo barabara kwanza kabla tujafungua. Hizo barabara zote tutengeneze, it's either tuweke cabros ama ziwekwe rami, ndio mtu mwenye ako kwa barabara asifiri ya vumbi. Ni very painful. Asante.
Thank you very much. Next, I'll call upon Eunice.
Me, I find like the jam, actually, it's not from people of Kawasukari. It actually originates even from as far as Githurai. Because Githurai people, instead of going, they fear the jam that is on their road going to Mwehoko, so they divert this way. So this, when their roads will be done, they will be opened like the way we are saying that we open ours. The jam will ease on this side, because most of them are from Githurai, Mwehoko, and now the Kawasukari B and the others. So those people, when their roads will be finished and the openings become open, there will be no jam on this side. But all the same, right now we have got to find a solution, and the solution, I think, is what the people are saying. Maybe we open a few avenues so that, but I also think that will also, it will be like a bolto, because it will be wider on that side, and when coming to the main road, it's a Kwandogo. So I don't know how that will be worked out, but we are praying that something will be done. If opening is okay, but it is still have a problem at the end. So we wait for Githurai people to finish their roads. Waende kwao na si tukae kwetu. Ama tuwafungie. Mfunge huko, wakae kwao, tukae kwetu.
Thank you very much. Okay. Next, Judge Mpemba.
Thank you. Yes, I concur that the traffic issue is brought about by the neighboring wards. We have a lot of development in Mwehoko, and it's a no-brainer that mtu wa Mwehoko hawezi toka town, pass through Githurai, it's easier to pass through Sukari. Being a public road, there is nothing we can do about it in terms of closing it. You cannot close that. What we can do is add a second and third exit, as Mary talked about. We have a provision for that. After Comfy, there is a bar called Gorilla. There is a road that exits from Garissa Road straight onto the service lane. And right before, when you're coming from KU, there is a road that is supposed to attach at Kenvarsity. So you can add that entrance and exit, maybe for someone who wants to go to KU and doesn't have to use the main road, and use the other one if you want to go to Githurai. This traffic issue is only going to get worse with Northlands coming up. So a second and third exit is the only solution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, Janet.
Thank you. As I have said, when I become an MCA, I try my level best and meet the traffic commander and sit with him and try and see how we can ease this jam of Kawasukari ward. It's true, by opening the feeder, some of our feeder road, especially Pale shopping center, the jam will reduce. So I'll talk to traffic commander tuone vile tuta minimize the jam, because as some of us are saying, we are growing and we have to think fast, because our estate, it's more or less, and we are growing and we are becoming leash and we are buying cars. So we have to think how to open our shopping center. Some of our feeder road, especially Bogoma Road, we have a feeder road there. Post Road, we have another one. Kenvarsity, we have another one. If we open them, and then we can have somewhere we can park our cars. When I become an MCA, I'll try and see we have somewhere we can park our cars without being harassed by council. When you leave your car there, your car is safe and you are not causing jam in shopping center. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, Janet. Thank you all for those insights. Last time we were not having Moshiri and Eunice, and those who had attended signed a memorandum which had several legal issues in there, and that's what we're going to delve into. But before we go into what the roles that you're supposed to do, we want to understand from your perspective, what do you think is the role of an MCA? When you get in, what do you think you're supposed to be doing? So I will start off with Simon.
Thank you so much. That's a very good question. According to the law, this is the Kenyan law, we got 3 responsibilities. Number 1 being legislation. These are the activities of the MCA in the county assembly. Oversight, still in the same assembly. But when it comes to representation, these now the government offices and in the world. Let me start with registration. It is a must that you have to have that capability to identify a problem within the world that belongs to the community. Then from there, you formulate or you write a proposal. You put it in terms of professional paperwork. From there, you present the same like to the assembly in any plenary sitting for the purposes of deliberations there, either to change an existing law or introducing a new registration for the benefit of the same people. When it comes to issues of oversight, this is now about managing public finances. The county government has got areas of revenue correction. You're supposed to know that, like in figures. You're supposed to help the county government identify areas of revenue correction. Then there is a fraction that comes from the national government. I think time is too little for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Simon. We'll go to Janet.
Thank you. When when I become an MCA, I think this will be my role to make sure people of Kawasukari are catered for. I'll be your servant. I will not be your boss. The first thing I'll do as your NMCA, nitakuwa na committee. Hiyo committee ita involve chairman of this ward, leaders of every zone, leaders of motorbike, leaders of matatu. That committee, hao ndio nitakuwa naongea na wao as your MCA. Pesa ikipeano kwa county assembly, mimi nitakuwa nakuja na waambia, this is the money given to you, watu wa Kawasukari. Nitakuwa nauliza, mnataka tufanye nini? Because I'll be your servant, I'll not be your boss. Ikiwa ni mitaro mnataka tutengeneze kwanza, ikiwa ni maji, ikiwa ni youth, you are the one to say. Mine will be to sign the money given and come before you and ask you to do. What is our agent? Alafu tunaanza na hiyo tunaendelea.
Thank you very much, Janet. I'll go to you, Eunice.
Okay, the work of an MCA is representation, registration, and oversight. And here, as an MCA of Kawasukari, mine would be to represent you people. I should not go to the assembly and say what I want to do. I should first of all come to you. We discuss, we prioritize on whatever we need to be done, and then we do it. That is actually participatory democracy. The other thing is that of registration. Registration is to find the gaps. What don't we have in Kawasukari? What would you like done in Kawasukari? Then what would you like done in Kiambu itself? So we go and make a law according to what we don't have and we want included in the law. The other one is oversight. We would like to know what the county government, whether the county government is doing the right thing, whether it is giving us what we want. And here is where, this is where we find that there is budgetary allocations, and those budgetary allocations, if I become the MCA, I would make sure that we are given what we deserve. If it is our money for Kawasukari, we should not be taxed more, or we should not be given less, and the others goes to somewhere else because that we are rich. We are not rich. Even if you are my daughter or you are my son, and I have 3 sons, when I want to gawanya, I give them equally. So we should have equal share for 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. That is me.
Thank you very much, Eunice. And it looks like we will eat into your time because you've eaten into another one's time. Huh? I'll go to you, George.
Thank you. I think by now you've realized the answer is going to be the same because the script is legislation, oversight, and representation. However, nothing binds you to work just within those parameters. I'll give you an example. For example, in terms of something like bursaries, on my manifesto, we deal with bursaries and sponsorship and scholarships, sorry. Nothing stops me as an MCA to go out of my way to search for scholarships for my people. Nothing binds me as an MCA and restricts me in my parameters to stop me from gathering the youth together empowering them, talking to them about some mentorship programs, putting them together to take advantage of some funds. So I'm not only going to work within the parameters provided, I am going to go over and beyond, because we believe that is what has been lacking in Kawasukari. We have a social aspect that we need to enforce. Nothing by law really forces me to do that. But being a member of this community and caring about the community, caring about the welfare of our youth and children, we need to employ a social agenda. And that will be top. We need to employ social cohesion amongst Kawasukari. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, George. I'll go to you, Mary.
Thank you. As they have said, yes, there are the three roles. Representation, meaning I will be the link between the electorate and the county government. I will represent you. You're sending me there to defend your interest. Legislation, meaning legislate, create laws. In the county assembly, that is where you create the laws that are going to govern our estate. So that is what I purpose to do. And I am a BCom graduate, so at least I have some knowledge. This is not the councillors of the yesteryears. That is why education is also an important thing. Then the third one is to check how the governor spends the money. I will be your people's watchman. And putting into consideration, I served you, I was able to protect your money. I want to go and get your resources, bring them to Kawasukari, we use them. Because this business of kugawa pesa kwa mfuko kama njugu, it should be a thing of the past. So trust me, I am tried and tested. I will bring your resources and we are going to make Kawasukari great. Those are the three roles of the MCA. But as my partner has said, you're not tied to that. You are free to have wings and you can fly and do other things, provided you bring them to the Kawasukari basket. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll go to you, Mombi.
So for me, I'll be able to maintain close contact with the electorate. I'll be able to come and discuss with you the issues that we have, so that I can be able to take them to the county and we can be able to sort out the issue. Number two, you need to be seeing your MCA, the one that you elected, every other time. Even if not anything else, at least mukwem. You know, you feel safe when you have your MCA around. So for me, sitapotea for 4 years, nitoke the 5th. Also, I'll be able to present views, opinions, and proposals to the electorate, to the county assembly. That is more or less representation. I'll be able to represent you and represent you well in the county assembly. Also, I'll be able to attend sessions of the county assemblies and its committees and provide linkage between the county assembly and the electorate on public service delivery. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mombi. Last but not least, Moshiri.
Thank you. The role of an MCA, as you have heard, there are 3. Oversight, registration, representation. The first one, I'll represent you in the county assembly as Kawasukarian. And in terms of maybe dispensary, which are not there, football pitch, which are not there, that's my part. The funds I'll be given, the proposals I'll take to the county to approve them. Through your help, that's what I'll represent on that part. And oversight, I'll be seeing what the county government is doing, what the governor is doing with our money. I think we'll engage more new, since I'll be having your views and your opinions, and on the things which are happening in Sukari. Thank you.
Thank you, sorry. So it's true, the answers were going to be the same, but how you deliver it as to how you're going to do those 3 roles was going to be what will set all of you apart. This question is going to be a combination of 2. So we have mentioned the roles, legislative and oversight and representation. So how do you intend in your legislative role, how do you intend to play that role, and what are some of the bills that you will probably push for or be a part of that will be for the benefit of Kawasukari? And the other bit of it is, how will you lobby for funds that will directly push for those bills as well as push for all matters Kawasukari? How do you intend to lobby for funds? I think I'm going to start with you, Eunice.
The watch is learning very fast. So what I could do if I got there is that I would advocate for all. I would ask for our resources to come to us. If it is the youth fund, it should be brought to Kawasukari as the youth fund. If it is the women fund, we should get that women fund. It should be allocated to us. And what we should do, we are talking about, so many people are talking about a hospital. A hospital needs funding. So what I think I should do is go and take that proposal that we need a hospital. And that hospital should be funded by the county government, because actually we as MCAs, we don't have allocations. So the money has got to come from them. So it is for us, or for me, to come out very strongly and fight very hard to get the resources come to Kawasukari and refuse for anyone to be given our money. I heard that our money usually goes elsewhere because we are rich. We are not rich, I repeat that. We are all equal, because every ward should be given its allocation, but all the same, we should also give so many projects, because actually they fund the project, they don't give the money just to come and stay in a pocket or to be disputed by anybody. So I'll make sure that I come to you, you tell me the projects that you need in Kawasukari so that they could be funded. I push that. If it is a police station, like the one I was talking about, I'll go say we need a police station, and so we need money to build a police station and all that. I think that is what I should work for, so that the resources of Kawasukari comes to Kawasukari, and we are able to do what we are supposed to do. Like those roads we are talking about, we should be funded to make the roads. Everything goes around funding. So I talk, and then we are funded. So if you go there and keep quiet, or you go there and you ask for yourself, unaambiwa sasa tunagawanya hizi na unazichukua, unasahau ulitumwa ufanye kazi, hiyo italeta shida na itafanya miaka 5. Unataka kuniambia imeisha? Itafanya miaka 5 ishe kabla mtu hajafanya kazi. Asante.
Thank you very much, Eunice. We'll go to Mombi.
Thank you very much for that question. For me, I'm going to be able to call for a public participation, and let us sit down and identify what are the priority projects of Kawasukari. So we are going to lobby for funds, number 1, to put sewer in Kawasukari, because that has been a main and a very big issue. So also for the Baringo Road, we are also going to lobby for funds and finally make that road a non-issue. Also, we are going to lobby for funds and so that we can be able to empower our youths, and also to bring home the ward development fund so that we can be able to uplift the infrastructure of Kawasukari. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Mombi. We can have Moshiri.
Thank you. On that part, as MCA, we don't have our money. We propose to the county what projects we have so that the county can fund us. As many projects you have, the more money you'll get. There are no specific amount that that award should get. And so, if we have more projects like roads, hospitals, fields, maybe a swimming pool, maybe somewhere a hall that we can meet as Sukarians and discuss our issues, all that money comes from the county government. And whatever you propose, that's what you get. And keep pushing. We are supposed to push all our projects, and with your support, I know I can deliver that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Moshiri. We'll have you, George.
Thank you. In terms of the funds, from the county government, the only way to get funds as a ward is to lobby. But you see, there are some restrictions and some issues that arise with this. All the power is with the governor, and you have to play to the governor's tune. So if, for example, George goes in and maybe a governor who we are not in good terms with goes in, I really have to do a lot of work to get some funds from that. But as I told you before, my specialty is in corporate sponsorship. So my biggest suite and the things I'll bring to the table is private-public partnership. We have already started on that. I remember some time back I told you we have already gotten a sponsorship for building the pitch at the end of Kawasukari for the tune of about 10 million. And this is where I think our strongest funding source should be, private-public partnerships. In terms of laws, I would like to push a law or a motion to decentralize and devolve some functions of the county assembly down to the ward. For example, the environmental care, such that things like this road, cleaning this road will not be part of the county assembly. It will be us as a ward. There's garbage collection as well, as I mentioned before. I would like this devolved down to us. I don't want us to have a heap of garbage at the road and say, Kanjwa wajakuja. We would also like to push for them to actually realize the ward fund. Once we have the ward fund, we have things under our control and we can plan accordingly. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, George. We'll have Mary.
Thank you. You have talked of two things. The legislation part, which is the bills. I purpose to follow up on a bill that had been raised one time by one of our former MCAs. It's called the Recognition Neighborhood Act. That one is for protecting our estate. As you all know, Kawasukari is a controlled development. But without the laws, and that is one of the reasons why I am really purposing to become your MCA, to be able to create that laws and to guard our estate, the Neighborhood Act. Then we have the Change of Use Act also that we need to work on so that we don't have challenges of having developers who don't want our estate to progress. Then the second one on lobbying. I happen to have networks and I am happy about it. We will lobby with the World Bank. They should give us money so that we are able to develop our estate. That is one way of lobbying. Then secondly, as we have said, we are hopeful that yes, we will get the ward fund. When you get the one fund, it becomes very easy for you because you are allocated money, and as residents of Kawasukari, you will know how much money we have been allocated. Because the problem with lobbying sometimes, it is you who says how much you're given. You're not answerable to anyone. But because I am transparent and accountable, I would fight to have that ward fund so that we are able to know we've been given 10 million, how are we going to use it? And the third thing, we are going to create a rapport with the MP. Because at the end of the day, the MP outrightly has CDF money, which that one is we are allowed to use. So that is one way that I'm going to have a rapport with the with the MP. Then finally, I will come back to you. As one of us has said, that private-public partnership. I am sure if the county has 10,000 and we need a project of 20,000, you're going to raise another 10,000 and we will have our project. So I think that is something that I will be willing to do. So be ready to see me coming and asking you for support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll have you, Janet.
Thank you. There is one thing I think I am supposed to address it here, and that is concerning voting. When you are voting a governor, an MP, an MCA, you should be very careful. You should vote somebody who is not corrupt. Because when you elect me as an MCA and my governor is very corrupt, he is the one receiving the money from the president, what am I going to do? I'll have a hard work. And most of the time, unaona tunakosana. So when you are electing people, just try your level best. Or you pray or fast, God to show you or to your heart to discern who is not corrupt, so that our word, we can be able to develop Kawasukari word properly. Because when the governor and the MP are not corrupt, lobbying will be very easy. Developing our young people will be very easy, because we shall be having meeting. I'll be going to their offices and tell them, my youth are suffering. They don't have a field to pray. They have a lot of potential, but they don't have somewhere to release their potential. When my MP is corrupt, he or she would not listen to me. Please, Kawasukarian people, let be wise. Let be advised who is not corrupt. Don't be cheated with money. Don't be cheated with sweet talks. Let God in heaven direct you. If you don't pray, this is the time to pray so that our youth can grow up. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet. Last but not least, Simon.
Thank you so much for that question. I have to let everybody understand it is not possible to address any conventional institution or a government institution through a song, through a poet, or a speech. As an MC, you have to have capability to put every information. Probably you have identified a problem that concerns drainage in Kawasukari, sewer, poor road, like the issue of public parking slot. You have to put it on a written paperwork somewhere so that you can present the same to that institution to convince them either to give you funds or any other kind of support. But on the issues of bills, I think the only other person who can be able to interrogate the relationship or the point of interaction between county bylaws and Kawasukari resident is the MC himself or herself. Like probably, if I make it a subject of this discussion this afternoon, the issue of physical planning in Kawasukari have had a number of challenges just because the Kawasukari Welfare Association and the MCA are not needed to explain to the resident the point of departure when it comes to application of Kawasukari welfare regulations and Kiambu County bylaws. The point of interaction, they're supposed to be well explained. But on those other issues of development, if you identify a place or an area that needs immediate attention, it has to be presented in form of professional paperwork. Now to the county, whether it's county government, the national government, or any other non-governmental organization for the purposes of support and funding. Those other things probably will require you get to the larger part of representation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Simon. On to our last question before we have the audience being able to have the Q&A. We have been having a water challenge for the longest time. I think since I was born, we were still having the water challenge. And nothing seems to change anytime soon. So why, first of all, why do you think that is? Why do you think we're having the water challenge? And how do you intend, as when you come in as the MCA, how do you intend to solve that in totality? How do you intend to solve it in totality? So I think I'm going to start with Mushiri. We haven't started with Mushiri, have we?
Thank you for that question. You are my neighbor, and you have experienced the same. Before you used to kutumia maji ya Mkisii hapo nyuma ya borehole, na tulikuwa tunakunywa hiyo before maji ya Nairobi County ikuje. Kuna cartels in Sukari, hao wanatuuzia maji hapo Felma, unapata marori mingi ziko hapo. They do a business with City Council ya Nairobi, wenye wanadeal na maji, wanakuja wanafunga at some point, maji inapotea, inabidi tununue, na tuna otherwise tunanunua. Another thing, kuna blockage. Unapata like last week kumekuwa na a lot of water, inapanda juu sana. Na sielewi ni kwa nini, because for the last 5 years from 2016 2015 hapo ndio maji ilianza kuwa na shida. So I think tutaongea na City Council ya Nairobi wafungulie maji yote, ama ikikosekana hivyo tuwaambie tutachange maji yetu to Ruiru water, because hapa Sukari tuko Kiambu County. Hiyo itatusaidia sana, na tuchimbe hizo mitaro. Na sijui kwa nini maji nakuja saa hii mingi na mbeleni iko na mingi. Sijui kama ni kwa sababu tunaenda msimu wa siasa sana, watu na release maji. I think hiyo itasaidia sana. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll have you, Mombi.
So for me, on the issue of water, I can assure you and I can tell you this for a fact. Si ati Kawasukari hakuna maji. Kawasukari maji ni mingi, but the pipes are blocked. The pipes have been laid down, but the pipes are blocked. Because I'm going to ask you a very simple question. Nyinyi watu mnataka kuniambia Kawasukari ni kubwa sana kuliko Wendani, sababu Wendani maji inapandanga juu 5 floors. Kawasukari is not any better or any worse. So I can tell you for a fact, the pipes are there, but the pipes are blocked. And why are they blocked? They are blocked because our leaders are working in close relations with the cartels. So number one, if we need to get a solution to this, we need to get rid of the cartels. The second solution is these bozers. If these bozers must be there, there are two things. It's either wakuwe wanakujia maji hapa sababu ni mingi wanaenda kuuza kwingine, ama wakwende kabisa. Because otherwise, we will never get a permanent solution to this. Also, there's the issue of I will be able to work together, I will be able to work closely with number one, the Team Maji, which is in Kawasukari, the leadership of Team Maji in Kawasukari, the Ruiru water, which is coming up, and the Nairobi water, and let us finally get a permanent solution to this. It has been a big issue, but I can tell you for a fact, pale Isiolo Road kuna kuwaga na gate valve hapo. Wakati kuna pressure ya maji, hiyo gate valve utingika sana, and instead maji iende mbele inarudi nyuma. There's a problem, and I can tell you, si ati viongozi wenyu hawajui kuna shida, wanajua, but there is also the issue of how much money do they put in their pockets. Let us have leaders who have our best interest at heart. Na hii shida ya maji ita come to an end. The pipes are there, but the pipes are blocked. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mombi. We can have you, Eunice.
Well, about water shortage, I believe it's a creation of the leadership that we have. Because our leaders are the ones who owns the water bowsers. So what they do, they close the water or they lock the water so that we may not get water for us to buy water from them. So what we could do is we tell them to remove the water bowsers from here, take them elsewhere. And I think there is water. Like now, for the last 2-3 weeks, there have been a lot of water. It was going up to 3rd floor, but immediately after 9th, you see there will be no water. When there are rains, you have water throughout. But immediately after the rains, there is no water. Because when there are rains, they know we cannot buy their water. But when there is that chance of us buying water, they reduce the water level. So there is water. Secondly, we have borehole next to the police station. If the readers wanted us to have water, they should have opened the borehole so that if we don't have water in our homes, if it is real that there is no water in Kawasukari, we could use the borehole water. But now the borehole is not working and we don't have water. So there is a solution. If I get there is no one who will complain that there is no water, because I will not allow those cartels to derail us. And especially as women, we need water, we need to cook, we need to clean the houses, we need to bath ourselves. So we need a lot of water. So when I get there, I'll make sure we have water in every home, every day. Asante.
Thank you very much. We'll have you, Simon.
Thank you so much. The issue of water in Kawasukari probably has got to do with poor policy that belongs to the government. The company that supplies water to Kawasukari is Nairobi Water Company. We cannot be able to put a question to Nairobi Water Company, we being Kiambu County politicians. It is not possible to interrogate some of these engineers. They don't belong to our jurisdiction. We need to force Nairobi Water Company to hand over the responsibilities of the building, inspection, and maintenance in Kawasukari. We are not against them selling water in Kawasukari. Let us sell us water in bulk. The amount of water used in Kawasukari, like probably in a week, is 5,000 meters cubic. And the Nairobi Water Company is ready to supply that. But we stop dealing with Nairobi Water Company direct. Let them sell water to Kiambu County. If they want to be paid, let them deal with Ruiru Water Company. They get their money there. Then we let the human resource in Ruasco to come do the issues of maintenance, inspection, and the billing, everything. So that as an MCA, I'll have the mandate and I'll have the capacity to question any technical issue that belongs to water. According to the information that I got from the director, Nairobi Water Company, and Ruasco probably some days ago, there's no perfection in terms of infrastructure. So we need to mobilize still money from the government to make sure that we do a new infrastructure in the areas where it is not in perfect condition. And probably there's no big deal in making sure every resident in Kawasukari has got water. The next other solution probably is to deal with the issue of the borehole in police station. It's working, but the people who manage the borehole down there are the police and some other young guys who do sell that water to the water boozers. We need to get one elder or one person to connect the resident with that water probably. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Simon. We'll have you, Janet.
Thank you. In the issue of water in Kawasukari ward, it's a very big problem. I can hear some people are saying they have a very big pressure. Ours at Isiolo, we don't have water. That pressure we don't have. Tumemaliza wiki mbili bila maji. So what I can say, kile kimenifanya those 2 weeks nikae na maji, is to dig the underground water tank and to tap the rainwater. So when we are doing our washings, we can use this water we have tapped from the lane. Then
Luasco water is coming. So I think we shall have enough water in Kawasukari. If not enough water, if we don't have enough water, we can subdivide our ward. So, kama ni Monday, tuseme inaenda Isiolo Road with pleasure. So when we have those underground tank, tunaweza kuwa na storage enough ya kutupeleka 1 week. Alafu tuweke Kerisho Road au tuweke Kiuliva. Hivyo. Hakuna mtu atacomplain hana maji. Alafu hii maji inanyesha inapotea. Washa tujue vile tunaweza itumia, because we don't know about tomorrow. Climate change is coming. It's there. Tumekosa discipline. Tumelima mpaka kwa mito. Mimi nikiwa mdogo nilikuwa naona mito ikiwa na maji mingi. Ungeenda hivi una slide na unaenda. But today Tana River unaona mawe iko juu. No water. So we have to be very careful. We have to be disciplined. Our house manager has to use the water properly. Kitchen water, we can use that kitchen water. We can use it in our kitchen garden. You can dig underground tank and under it you can put a garden. You grow your vegetables there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will have Mary.
As we walk, the minutes are going. Okay. The water challenge that we have in Kawasukari, you all know, we are served by Nairobi Water, but we are under Kiambu County as a jurisdiction. So what is going to happen in terms of water, and that I understand. We have 2 dams that are being done, which is Karemenu, I think you know. And the capacity of that dam today is 47 million liters. But what Rujuasco is able to provide for us is 33 million liters. So they have a deficit of 13 million liters. But now, because we are under Kiambu, chances are that we are going to be moved to Rujuasco. But at that time, the dams will be done. So Rujuasco will have a capacity of 14 million liters and will be okay. We will be supplied. But now, some of the challenges that we have, and I understand some of my candidates also know, is the challenge of the piping and the clogging. The roots have clogged our pipes. What I intend to do, to lobby, I have some networks in the municipal board. I will request that we get the World Bank to do for us new reticulation in Kawasukari. Because you all know, and some of you who have lived here for long, the piping used to be done very well. We used to have, if you live on Kericho Road like me, you'd only get your water from Kericho Road. But now people have started circumventing. You get your water from Marsabit Road, you get your water from 2nd Avenue. All those challenges are there. But now when you do new reticulation, I'm sure things are going to change and we will not have that challenge. But again, we have grown as Kawasukari. We have 3 estates. The main avenue, the main shopping center, north and south. Those are like 3 estates. So those are the challenges that we have. And finally, because I have said we've recovered our piece of land, we purpose to now do a borehole, a real borehole that is deep enough. We put storage tanks and we are able to give water to people in terms of the borehole water. We pipe the borehole water. So those are things that we hope will bring that change. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mary. Last but not least, we have you, George.
Thank you. According to, on the water issue, most of the issues that have been preventing us from getting water, one is blockages, and the long-lasting solution for that is to lay new pipes for the adversely affected areas. 2, cartels are an issue, and someone asked me who are these cartels we all talk about. I think if we were to figure out who the cartels are, we start thinking backwards. Who benefits the most when we do not have water in Sukari? And then from there we can get our solution. The issue with the cartels, how to deal with the cartels, pass a legislation in the House, pass a legislation to have registered water vendors down to ward level. And this will shut out most of them, and we will have registered people that we know these are the only people who can sell us water. Long-lasting solution to the water crisis is borehole water. It has worked in other areas. Purify our water. It is a long-lasting solution, and that can be achieved in the short term. The estate right here, the Chinese people call it Kwam China. They have a borehole, and they purify their water. Water is never an issue there. Runda has Runda water. Runda uses borehole water. And the reason I'd really push for this is to have things within our control. We don't want to talk about Nairobi water. We don't want to talk about Rujuasco. Keep on talking about this, because even after you elect someone, it's going to be the same issue. Oh, Rujuasco has said this, or Nairobi water has said this. Let's have things within our control. Let's drill our own boreholes, purify the water storage towers, and there we will have solved the water crisis in Kawasukari for good. Thank you very much.
Very much. Thank you very much. And thank you all for having adhered to the time, to the question. Even Eunice, we forgive you. But thank you that the rest even have been gracious enough. And now we are going to pass the mantle to the audience. I'm sure they have questions either to individuals or to all of you. So we have someone who is going to pick your questions. You can ask specific people, or you can ask all of them. They will be able to answer. We don't have any questions for your incumbents? Oh, sorry. For the aspirants, yes? No questions for the aspirants? Even if it is scandalous, we will allow it. Just in case you're afraid to ask a question. Okay, we have a question right there. Thank you very much.
Good evening. I'm a resident here, Mugu. Mine is really not a question. It's just a comment to first appreciate and to thank the aspirants for showing up and spending time to explain or to answer the questions that were posted to you. And we can see you have given it your best. And as your voters, we will interrogate and make the decision. But wish you well, and this is our home, and we'll work together. But I want to toss a question to you, or a thought, and I don't know if the panelists can guide on this. Since in total you are about 9 aspirants in this estate, and we will get one at the end of the day, I would want to see in your mind, us as your voters, in Kawasukari we know it's our wish that we get one of you, one who resides here, because then they will have the best interests of the estates. They will not disappear for 4 years and appear in the last year or lock themselves. So we would really love that one of you is elected. So we want to see from your thoughts, what is the best way that you would want to advise us to elect one of you who will best suit that position. Of course, we have had your responses. Some of us who are in the county, we know what the job you're looking for. We know what it entails. So we have already made our inferences. But we would want to get from you, how would you want us, guide us? Today you are 7 there. Can you tell us, this is why I think I'm the best, or this is the best way that you will choose one of us? Apart from the many questions which you have answered, we've already formed an opinion. But we want to hear from you that I think he elects one of us based on this, and this. Tricky answer.
And a tricky question indeed, but a beautiful one. In short, he's saying you can vouch for one of you to be the person that you pick. I know the answer that I expect from all of you is, I am the best candidate because of this and that. But all of you seem you have the best interest of Kawasukari. So in case tuko wengine tuko kwa fence, who would you rather give us? Think about it while we get another question. Do we have somebody? Sure, great.
Hello. I have a funny question. So we elect one of you, we have a winner. Is it you, the winner, who is going to get rid of all the posters? Or it's each person who wanted to vie is going to tear down the banners, the posters, because as time goes by, we elect and election is over, maybe they get forgotten. They start becoming litter, and then we are talking about blocked pipes. Now we're going to get blocked drainage, and that's going to be another whole issue. So the winner, mwenye atakuwa, are you going to get rid of the posters ama to deal na maisha yetu?
Right. Yes, valid question. We see it written by Kenha, or is it Kura, kwa barabara, that a poster here is a fine of 85,000 Kenya shillings. So who will do that for us? We can get 2 more comments, questions, then we can have them answering the questions. Yes, we have a lady here.
Good afternoon. Mine is a comment. There are some challenges that are there, not only here but everywhere. For instance, if the best candidate is Mr. X or Miss X, but you refuse to vote for that person because of the party, the top person there, I would comment that you vote for that person as the president of the world. For instance, if I'm a UDA, it's an example, if I'm a UDA person, but I want to vote for a KANU person, for example, I shouldn't go for that whole suit. I would comment that you choose somebody, or you vote for somebody based on his or her credentials and her capability and her track or his track record. Thank you.
All right, great. In short, anasema 6-piece. 6-piece? Isikue. All right, that's up to you, electorate, to decide how you go about that voting. We have one more question, one more comment, and then we can have them answer. Right.
Thank you. Mine is a comment. First of all, I would like to appreciate the aspirants for their discipline. My only hope and wish is that in the remaining few days, kindly assure us you will continue with the discipline, because all of you are our people. And I can see all the aspirants who are here, they are Sukarians, and we love you. And may the best win. The other point I want to say is that maybe before we close, the MC, I would like us to challenge them. Give them maybe each a minute. Let them tell us why each one of them thinks they are the best. Because you see, my concern is this. In all these elections, members, I want to tell you, the most important person to you is the president of your ward, who is the MCA. The MP, you will have very little interaction. The governor, kidogo, but the person who matters to us is the MCA. So can these aspirants, all of them, each one apatiwe labda, my wish apatiwe muda kidogo atuambie, to convince us, I am the best because of X, Y, Z. Na ule ata respect time, akatiwe. So that if they are given 2 minutes, let it be 2 minutes. Yeah. Please let them tell us why they think now finally, I am the best. We want to see them so that we are able to gauge that. Because let me tell you, members, you have to make a decision. The ward is your president. If you elect the wrong person, we are done in the ward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Engineer. Yes, we have one last one. And there are others who are sending their questions online. Some are specific, some are just general. But if you want to send your question online, you can still do that. Yes?
Hey. Good afternoon to all of you. Okay, so my first question is to every MC hapo kumekuwa na issues mingi zimetajwa, si ndio? The water, probably garbage. So to each and every one of you hapo, which is the most vital issue to be solved first in Shoge? Because how is it to ambia that you'll do everything at once? So I would really like to see that at least mtueleze ni kitu gani una feel that it's very urgent to make Shoge the place that people think it is and to make it even better. And the second question ilikuwa nini? Okay, about the water issue, I think everyone alisema something about cartels, if I got that right. And yes, mulisema that you'll get rid of the cartels, but can you give us at least a specific plan? Because hamwezi tu kwa mnatuambia one thing and then just, najua, it's so vague. At least give us something to hold on to. Give us a plan. Give us, najua, a way forward. And finally, kuna watu walikuwa nasema tutakuja back to the people and najua get feedback or najua advice from us. I mean, how do you plan to do that? Kutakuwa na group, kutakuwa, as in, get us to understand how you will, get us to understand how you guys want to reach us, because I feel like you guys are just saying things, but you're not giving us details, and I think all of us need details. Ama nimekosea? Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a concerned youth. And before that, I think I'll start with the specific questions that have just come in. I'll start with Mombi. There's a question for Mombi. The question says, what do you mean by you can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped? Does this mean leaving out some people with the excuse that they don't want to be helped?
Thank you for that question. That is a very good question. What I mean by that is change comes from within, and change has to start from you. You need to want to change for us to help you change. And the first thing to acknowledge that you want to change is to acknowledge that you have a problem. So how do we deal with a person who does not first acknowledge that they have a problem? Number two, that they want to change. How do we deal with such a person? So for me, I'm not saying that in a bad way. It has no feelings attached to anything. But what I simply mean is change inatokana na wewe mwenyewe. You're the first person to change. You're the first person to, unafaa kutamani kuchange. Ndio sasa ukuje nje useme ni aje, mimi niko na hii shida and I want to change. Now, let us start from there. I hope I have answered my question.
I hope the person who asked has answered. Thank you very much, Mombi. Eunice should sign up for comedy. Question goes to Moshiri. Moshiri, you talked about training and educating youth. In what field will they be trained, or are you thinking of starting a training college?
On that issue of training, we can call seminars, we can call the church to talk to us, and I think the church has a lot of potential people. Accountant, I'm also an accountant, but I don't have any experience on that. We have catering, hospitalities. People have done hospitality, yet they don't have those funds or the experience, because most of us come out from college or universities while we are fresh. We just have the knowledge to start a business, but we don't have the funds. I think we'll have to train them first. Even if you are in a college, I think I know a lot of people here in Sukari who deal with catering. Like a lady called Ms. Kashamio. There's another lady here with the PL Gardens. I think I know several people here who can help us in those hospitality catering, and we can engage them first, before you give a person some money or some money to do something, I think you have to engage them first, and then we fund them. I think that will help us a lot.
Right. I hope the person who asked is answered. And now we'll go to the general questions, and I'll start with you, George. One of the questions was, whose problem is it going to be? The posters removal.
Okay.
And maybe you can match that with what will be your priority in solving the issues that Kawasukari is facing.
Okay. As for the posters, I'd suggested something before we actually started with the campaigns. I'd suggested to the Welfare Association that every aspirant gives at least a small fee, maybe 5,000 shillings, that will remain with the association till we are done. Because after it's done, most people just leave it as is. However, since that was not done, the responsibility should fall on our shoulders, because it will create a mess of our environment. So I think it should be a responsibility of each individual. And if it is not done, I guess the MCA who will have been chosen then, I will actually put an environmental drive, a cleanup drive. Yeah, that was on a light note, to deal with that. The second thing, the most pressing issue for me, on my manifesto, there's a lot of things, but the most pressing issue for me is the youth. And I'd proposed to put up a sports complex at the end of Kawasukari. That will be my flagship project, and that is what I really intend to push. In terms of cartels, or I just leave it at that? Okay. In terms of how to get rid of cartels, I'd put up an argument that I would like to pass a legislation on where we restrict water vendors. Because if we have a single water vendor in Kawasukari, we do not have a big number of people profiting from water shortage in Kawasukari. That will definitely get rid of the water cartels. How do you ensure public participation was the second question from you. On my manifesto, we are launching a Sukari app, a Kawasukari application. This will be on your phone, and it will be an interactive application where everyone can contribute in real time. If there's something that doesn't please you in Kawasukari, it is there. Functions of the MCA's office, if we've lobbied for something, it is there. If we are pushing for legislation, it is there. The minute bursaries are out, it is there. You can comment on real time when something happens and when you feel like you need something addressed. Thank you very much. And someone had asked about endorsing a single candidate if it was not me. If it was not me, I think I'd tell my wife to come here and buy. And I would endorse her. I think it will be impossible for the members here to endorse someone else. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you very much. We can have Eunice tell us poster removals, what will be your priority in solving the issues? How are you going to solve the cartels that you people have told us about? And lastly, how exactly will that public participation take place?
Okay. My priority actually is with the youth, because as you can see, I said I'm a grandma of one. And as a grandma, I want to see the next generation. I don't just want us to stop here. I would like to see my children and their children prospering and living good. So I was just thinking about the youth, and that is when I thought, in this flyer of mine, the first thing is the youth, how to treatment and rehabilitation of addicts and drug abuse. Secondary, there's nothing else that really bothers me like seeing our children getting lost. Okay, they are like she said, we separate them. There are those who are getting lost. And we feel, let me say myself, I feel so bad. When people out there at Kawasukari Shopping Center, they say that these houses in Kawasukari will be theirs because our children will sell them after taking drugs and all that. It really pains me. And I thought it better, or I still feel, even if I don't become the MCA, I still feel there should be rehabilitation and treatment for those people. Because someone who takes drugs is usually sick. Si ati anapenda, ni mgonjwa. He or she should be treated as a sick person. So they should be treated, taken care of until they become normal and start working like the rest. We don't want to lose our children. And because when we lose this one, we also lose the child that follows. Na inaendelea hivyo hivyo. So we want to curb it right here. Iishe na iishe kabisa. The next question was, how will I be able... Unataka kuniambia nimemaliza?
Yes, your time is up.
Moja tu. Okay, for public participation, usually how it is usually done, ni kuchukua, kama ni youth, tunachukua wawili. Si hapa mko wanne, tunachukua wewe na huyo. Alafu kwa kanisa tunachukua maybe wawili. Kwa every sector, until we reach the very last person down there. Hata ule, we want to hear the voice of that person down there about hasikikagi. We included them. And now that we have the, like he has said, there is this, your app. We can have an app and we include everybody. But at some point, we go to meet. It should always be at the app.
All right.
Thank you. Ya kusema ati tuchague mmoja, hiyo ni ngumu kwa sababu kila mtu alikuja akitarajia achaguliwe. Kwa hivyo sasa ni mchague mmoja apate mbili, mwingine tatu, mwingine hiyo washindane. Kwa sababu that is democracy.
Right. Thank you very much, Eunice. We'll go to Janet. You remember the questions?
Pardon it again.
So issues of posters. We have millions of posters on our roads. How do you intend to deal with that? Priority of issues. What will be your priority of solving issues that you have discussed in your manifesto? And how do you intend to solve the cartels? And how do you intend to put us in your management, public participation?
When elected as an MCA, I'll take that responsibility of withdrawing all the posters. If not elected, I'll do my own. Thank you. Issue of giving one of us, you can leave us, that one will decide. We are friends. We can decide and see who can lead us. We are all friends. We know each other. We live in Kawasukari. We are residents here. So leave us. We shall sit together and see.
Problem of cartels.
Cartels of water.
Yes.
I can't say I know the cartels, but I'll make sure, if given that authority, because when you have authority, you can enter to every office. You can lobby the money from every office because you have the authority. If not given authority, your hands are tired. So I promise, if given authority, I'll enter to every office, even to the president. I'll go there because I don't fear. I have the capacity because I fear the Lord. Right. God has given me capacity to do the work of the MCA. God has given everything because the Bible tells me when you fear the Lord, all the knowledge and wisdom come from the Lord. And God bless you.
Thank you very much, Janet. We'll have you, Simon.
Thank you so much for that question. On the issue of posters, the law requires once the campaign period is declared over, every candidate, you get to the field, every street, and you remove everything that belongs to your campaign material. That one has got no negotiation. So 1 week before you go to elections, you are not supposed to see anything about anyone around. That one should not bother you. On the issue of water and cartels, the moment I suggested that we should let Nairobi Water Company leave Kawasukari, not in terms of product, but in terms of their physical presence, that's the only other time when you deal with all the cartels. Because once you let them distribute water like in bulk in Kawasukari, you change the conversation. And the people to deal with water now will be Ruasco. And from there, as an MCA, I'll be able to interrogate the technical engineer, the director, and the technical team on the issues of water around. Because when it comes to dealing with small crimes, you need to use the office. Mahali hakuna maji Kawasukari, you need to question the engineer and the technical officer. It's not a big deal, it's achievable. On the issue of public participation, it's well provided like in county bylaws. Before the reading of any financial statement, every year, that's annually, that space is provided, like participation has to be done in every ward, and it is always done with announcement, a public announcement. The things that now the resident doesn't do is that you don't come out, and probably some other times you don't participate. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Simon. We'll have Mary. All right. So one of the questions was the posters. How do you intend to deal with all the posters that are all over Kawasukari? And then what will be your priority in solving the issues that are in Kawasukari, and even based on your manifesto? And then since you people spoke of cartels, how do you intend on dealing with the cartels? The how? And how will you're the one who said that you will come to us for the funds and so how do you intend to do that exactly, the public participation?
All right, the first one, the posters. I am a good citizen. I am a law-abiding citizen. So ideally, the posters will be removed. And because I am hopeful that you're going to give me your votes, I will engage the youth. If they do not remove my fellow candidates, I'll engage the youth. Na watapata kibarua. So that one, because the ward will still be ours, I'll make sure it is clean. The second one is on the public participation. I appreciate my fellow candidate. Yes, an app is good technology. That is one way we will use. The second one, Kawasukari is divided in zones and courts and all that. That leadership is still existing. We will use that. We'll also have the Juakali sector because they have an association. We want to include everyone because ideally, if you see Kawasukari is divided in the shopping center and the residential area, so that public participation should be for both because probably we want to do something at the shopping center. We need to involve them, participate with them so that they own that project. So that one is workable. Then the third one about the cartels. I did not talk about the cartels, but if they are there and if they are among us, I'm sorry, water is going to come. So mtajitoa tu. Because maji itakuwa. So because water will be there, the cartels don't need to be there. So ideally, let's not think about the cartels because they will just go naturally. Am I done?
Yes, you are. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We can have Mombi. Had you spoken? Okay. The question, posters, the removal of the posters?
So I've had one of my very able competitors wakisema they'll do theirs. So I'd also suggest every candidate, because ni wewe ulijiwekea ujitole. You know, you can hire people to come and do it or something, but let's not allow our streets ama our Kawasukari zones to be dirty.
The next one is, what will be your priority?
Now, that's a difficult question, but then I'd say my priority project would be water. Water, water, water. Water is life. So myself, I'd prioritize on water. And because I said it's a difficult question because I'm a youth, and so I have the best interest of my fellow youths at heart. So as I prioritize water, I'll also prioritize my dear youths, that amongst other things.
On cartels, how do you intend to solve cartels?
Now, for the cartels, because I really stressed on them, I'd say that I'd also say what my competitor has said. When water comes, there'll be no business. So wataenda. Maji ikikuja, watajitoa tu wao wenyewe, because otherwise why are they here? They'll now go and cartel other places.
How do you intend to put public participation?
Now, for the public participation, there's the zone leaders, there's the Kawasukari Welfare Association, na pia kwa jua kali kuna kuaga na welfare yao, wanakuaga na, what is it called? Their association, their group. Now, for me, I'd include all of them. Let us call them for meetings. Let us ask for the priority projects. Now waende wapitishe information. Because tukisema ni kuita kila mtu, tutawaita mara ngapi. Nona. So for me, I'd work in close relation with the zone leaders and the leaders that are around Kawasukari. Zone leaders, welfare, and the welfare of the Juakali. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Last but not least, Moshiri.
I think on the part of posters, kila mtu atatoa yake. Najua wengine watakuwa discouraged, mimi nitakuwa nasherekea. And I think kwa sababu ya excitement, sioni yangu kwanza hiyo siku nitatoa na nitembeza kwa barabara. On the other issue, ilikuwa issue
priority
yangu sana ni maji. Maji inakuja siku 3 na siku hizi hata inakuja Saturdays. Sijui how it happens. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday inafungwa mchana na tuna survive with the storage. Issue yangu sana ni maji. Another thing ni empower youth na mama zetu, women empowerment. Another one ni develop our youth, their talents. Youth wako na talents mingi sana, yet hakuna watu wa kuwasaidia. Nimeapproachwa na musicians kwa sababu nasimama MCA. Youth wamekuja nasema, mheshimiwa, mimi niko na ngoma nataka kutoa. What should I do? I'm an independent candidate. Mimi hakuna mtu ananifund. Najifund mwenyewe, but luckily since I'm an agent of houses here hapa Sukari, nimeinteract na musicians like Juakali, Kajairo, na nimewaingisha, they live in Sukari kama ujui. Nimewaingisha kwao, and recently mtaona a video on YouTube kwa sababu those are the things we want to do. Nilisema nataka football pitch. Mimi ni footballer, nilitoka high school 206 kama school team na sina mahali pa kuchezea mpira. So those are my priorities. Na the last one ni pesa za uzeeni. Watu wanazeeka na tunakubali kwa sababu lazima watuzeeke. At the age of 70 kuna pesa serikali huwa inapeana, pesa za uzeeni. That's 2,000. Na ni vizuri unapata hiyo pesa above 70. Na sina hiyo capability ya kuongeza, ningeongeza ilikuwa hata 5,000. Na I think sisi tutasaidiana. Asanteni.
Thank you very much. Thank you very. It looks like there's an inside joke there. They need to share with us. We need the inside joke. We need to be inside the joke as well. So last but not least, is engineer had said that we give you at least 1 minute each, but we'll give you 2 to state to us why do you think you're best suited for Kawasukari. So we'll give you 2 minutes each. And I don't know who I should start with, but I will not start with Eunice. So let me start with you, Simon.
Thank you so much for your question. Number one, I have a will and a desire in my own heart to serve God, but now through political leadership. I started campaigning for this position for MC in Kawasukari back in the year 2013. With all the challenges and frustrations, I've made it to this level. And I have faith in God. It is possible. Number two, the things and the challenges that I met in Kawasukari when I came here for the first time have been recurrent for quite so many other days. It is not because they are not achievable. It is only because you have never had a willing heart to help you achieve some of them. You're talking about water, 59 years after independence. The general variation of Kawasukari properties can never be maximized without water. And the supplying companies are all around. And number two, or last but not least, the issue of representation when it comes to some of these political games needs you have to have some courage. Going in the assembly, you're not going there for full gospel engagements. You'll go meet your equals. And because you're talking about resources, you have to stand your ground, convince the members there, the whole government, you get money, and you assist the resident to achieve the projects which are best for them. I plan to advance God's purpose through one of the most decent representations ever. Thank you so much.
Very much, Simon. We'll have you, Janet. Tell us why you think you're best suited to be the next Kawasukari MCA.
Thank you. What I want is just legacy. Legacy. When I grow old, in my house, I see youth developing. I see youth working. I see youth not taking drugs, busy working for their parent. I would be very happy. That's why I look for youth empowerment. Train and sensitize the youth on business skills through partnership with Equity Bank, Cooperative Bank, KCB Bank. Create job opportunity through linkage with county stakeholders such as Kiambu County, government, universities, churches, business. And I would encourage every church, if possible, to have a school or a hospital where we can create job and employ our youth, because creating job is very necessary to our youth. As we grow old, we would like to see our youth helping us as their parents. I want when I become 100 years, people will say, if we can have a lady like Janet, we can be very happy because of what he did in Kawasukari ward. I'll do my level best to make sure Kawasukari is a beautiful word. I'll do my best to see the youth of Kawasukari are useful to us and to the country. I'll make sure our roads, feeder roads, are tarmacked because I have that passion in me. What I need is legacy. When elected as an MCA, I'll form a committee, or leadership, welfare leadership, avenue leadership, so that we can discuss on how to promote this beautiful Kawasukari word. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, Janet. Mombi, we'll have you, Mombi.
So for me, I think I'm best suited for this position because number one, I am the youngest and the most energetic and the most approachable. And I think that is the most important thing of a leader. A leader that you can easily approach is a very, very important thing. Unaimagine uamke 4 am unichague, alafu ukitaka kuniona lazima upitie 10 other people ndio unifikie. It is very unfortunate. Also because for me, as soon as I graduated from my leadership and management, I started working for the people. I have the passion for the people. I love the people. And I believe that when I'm given this position, I'll be able to understand. I am born and bred in Kawasukari. And so for me, I'd say that naelewa shida za Kawasukari ndani na naelewa shida za Kawasukari nje. Nje by nje, I mean the Juakali, because I am one of the Juakali people. Because I sell samosas as a mahoka, I started by that. So if you given this opportunity, I'll be able to listen to you, I'll be able to understand you, and I'll be able to come up with solution to the challenges that Kawasukari face. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mombi. We'll have you, Moshiri.
Thank you for that question. I'll start introducing myself first. I'm David Mushiri Mbogwa, schooled in Diaine, 1997. So in 1997, there were like 5 shops. So I've seen Sukari grow. The first shop was in Sat School. Her mom used to be there. The other one was in a bit of Mlachake on that side. The other one is on Felma. Mama Mrs. Gashamio there with a supermarket there. And the other one is in Engine. We used to call it Gate at that time. So I've seen Sukari grow. I'm also a graduate. I've not been far. Hata nimeoa just around. So Missy Ham. I'll make Sukari a better place than I found it. I've seen it growing, and I've seen some things which have not been happening, which I expected them to have happened. And that's the reason I've been a leader in Kenyatta University, School of Business, and I decided why not get into Sukari politics so that I can do the things which I want them to be done and which have not been done. And like the thing about dispensary that has been itching me, like I remember like the former MCA in Ngeche had proposed a dispensary just around that place where the police station is, and the Swazuri at that time who was dealing with land had an engagement, and they said they are a dispensary in Sukari, yet we don't have a dispensary in Sukari. I think it will help me a lot and help Sukari grow and be a better place. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll have you, Mary.
Thank you. Who am I? Who is Mary? As I started by saying, Mary is a mother, a wife, a resident of Kawasukari, a BCom graduate, an entrepreneur, a board member, a servant and community leader in Kawasukari. I have worked locally and abroad, and I have served you in the Kawasukari Association. I am a selfless and servant leader committed to the welfare of this estate. As an MCA, I understand what is governance. I understand what we need. And that is why I took the bold step to go to the county, because I know that is where we can change our ward. We will make laws. We will get resources. You all know I have been tried and tested. Accountability, integrity, transparency, good governance are my tenets of my leadership. That is what I want to give the people of Kawasukari. And as one of my competitors has said, yes, it is good to have a legacy, to know that you're doing what is right. And we all believe we are heaven bound as much as we are serving in this world, we need to have acts that will lead us to heaven. The search for an MCA has come to an end. I am hopeful and I believe that standing here, I am asking for your votes. On 9th, when you go to that booth, kindly tick Mary Wangari Ngugi to serve you, to continue serving you, 2022, 2027, 2032. Anyway, that is on a light note. But thank you. We are happy. Kindly be the candle that will light the others. Spread the gospel. Tell the others that we have an MCA. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Mary. We will have you, George, as the last gentleman on the panel.
Thank you. Why George? I have grown up here, as I said earlier. I've stayed here for 26 years. I have seen the worst that Kawasukari had to offer, and I have seen the best that it has to offer. And for me, it is to carry on the hard work that our parents did creating this estate. This estate was not born by the rich. We struggled so much, our parents struggled so much to create what we have here. And as we stand, we are at the brink of losing a lot of it. And how are we losing it? It's because we are not empowering the generation that takes over from our parents. I think this is very vital. And I think this is also part of taking care of our parents. Once the youth are in charge, the parents are taken care of. So how do I intend to do this? I intend to place the youth at the mantle of leadership in Kawasukari. I intend to push projects such as education. We need to take advantage of the school at the end of the estate so that we as parents, young parents, can profit from the institutions that we have within us, lower the cost of education by improving what we have down there. We need to take care of the legacy of our parents. We need to rightfully step up as the youth of Kawasukari and care enough. And for me, when you see me, I want you to see someone who wants to empower the youth to take over and continue the legacy of Kawasukari. We need the status quo to remain. We need to fight for controlled development. Otherwise, this turns into another buruburu. I humbly ask for your vote on the 9th of August to be your MCA and to continue the hard work that our parents started. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George. Last but not least, we have Eunice.
Eunice came here in 1994. I have brought up my children here since then because my firstborn started schooling here. So I know the good demographics of Kawasukari. I have seen it grow like he has seen it grow, but I came earlier than him. So I know Kawasukari, and I feel I know where I would like Kawasukari to go or where to reach. I also would like to serve Kawasukari right now, because that time maybe I would not have been able to serve Kawasukari in the capacity I would have liked to, because maybe I was rearing my children. They were growing up. So now I have all the time. I'll tell you, I have all the time to work and serve Kawasukari people, because I have nothing else that is derailing me. Hakuna kitu ya kunifuta nyuma, ni kufanya kazi na kuendelea mbele. So I'm here ready to work for you people, do whatever I have said here with nothing, with no entanglement. Sisomeachi kama wewe. Si hakuna kitu kinani, kazi yangu sasa ni kufocus in the next generation Sukari itakuwaje, watoto wetu watakuwaje, tunaelekea wapi? Hiyo ndio, na sasa hiyo usaidizi wenu pia it will come in handy, because I'm working now for the next generation, you people. Tukae na nyinyi, mniambie mnataka kazi, mama ako hapa, na mnajua mama hata mkiwa watoto 100 atawapatia chakula mkule, akose kukula, afadhali akose watoto wakule. Nyinyi sasa nyote ni watoto wangu na mtakula kutoka kwa Eunice mama Kihoro, na kwa hivyo nasema I am best fitted because I have no entanglement ya kukosa kufanya kazi yenu. Na mimi sitaki pesa ati niende niibe, naenda kuimba nini? Nina nyumba, nina chamba, nimelea. Siwezi imbia wao watoto, watajimbia kama wanataka kujimbia, but not me. So yangu sasa ni kufanya kazi yenu. Na nawaomba officially, I'm asking you people, on 9th August 2022, you vote for Eunice Gavigia Gathua, Nina wa Kihoro. Na niko na chama inaitwa Usawa kwa Wote. Tulikuwa tukisema tupatie every house ng'ombe. Sasa hiyo ng'ombe nitawapatia ikiwa maziwa. Hiyo ng'ombe nitawapatia. Sasa kile nitapata nitawaletea, na hiyo ng'ombe nitawaletea. Kwa hivyo mchague mama.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This has been quite an eventful debate, and I'm really grateful, and I want to reiterate what Engineer said. You people have been very disciplined, very you had decorum, you were answering on time, and you followed all the rules. We didn't even have to cut anyone short, and we are really grateful that you honored the invite, that you chose to come and meet your people, meet the young people, because their votes also matter. We are really, really grateful that you showed up, and we are grateful that you took your time, your afternoon, instead of spending with your families, you chose to come and actually listen to what the youth had to say and what the electorate had to say to you or had to ask you. We are grateful, and thank you so much, and we wish you all the very best. And I will pass this mic to my colleague.
Hi. So we know that only one of you is going to take the seat. And all of you have come with different views and different ideas, of which I've liked. Hoping that if you don't get that seat, that you'll support the one who'll be there, because you have really good ideas, and I wouldn't want, just because one person has got that seat, all the others go away. I'd like for the ones to come and support, so that can be a better Sukari. So at least for the next general election, you can say I did this with the MCA, or I did that, kind of like that, and then take it up a notch higher there. So one person, but we are very many. But I really encourage, if you don't get it, you can support the MCA with the ideas and see how Kawasukari can be better. Yeah.